Hi guys, now I've got everything laid out here and I've had a few questions about using the big GT mat, and the one I'm using here, and yes, you can all have a laugh at my bunny pajamas. So I love pajamas and bunnies, why not? So this here is one of my new GT mats, and I've been asked a few private questions about card chaining with this. In a Facebook group that I have, there was a lady who's put up an example. She used card chaining with this mat and it was a great example, but I thought I'll do a video just to clarify a little bit more for you. And for those of you who don't know or understand what card chaining is, this is a very snapshot view. Now what I've done is I've laid out my GT mat, and GT is short for Grand Tableau. It is a French word, and some people say Grand Tableau, and it means big picture. And so in the cartomancy world, when we often lay out cards like this, although these ones are upside down, we use chaining. It's a common practice with playing cards as well as Lenormand cards or Lenormand cards, or however you want to pronounce it. And so the GT mats that I designed hold the 50 houses. So what we call these that are printed on the mat, we refer to as houses. Now, some of you, like I've got all the cards here laid upside down, but if you were doing a normal GT reading for yourself, you wouldn't have the cards upside down. You would lay them out. Some people go in order numerically. Some people, like me, if you're like me, I just place them at random where I feel that it has to go. And you would then read the two cards together. But this video, I want to talk about card chaining. So when we do card chaining, you will look at a specific topic that you will look at. So for instance, if you want to know about love, we'd start here in house, which is numerically position of the heart. Now this mat is my royal tea, and it's one of my favorites, and I love using it for videos because it's so crystal clear in videos. It's uncluttered, it's simple, and it's soft. So if we were going to look at this, and I'll use a scenario of a young lady in her 30s who's looking for love and she's feeling a bit lost. And there's a lot of people in this situation. So we'll look at the young lady around looking for love. So in her, we've chosen the topic as love. So we're going to start in the house of the heart. If you were looking at things like work or career, you would look at that as the castle or the tower card. So if we are looking at money and abundance, you would look then at cards like the fish, or literally the money cards. We would look at, what else? Family, you would look at tree. There's all sorts of topics. I've actually got them written in the books with the cards. So if you were looking at children, which isn't a great topic that a lot of readers will avoid, but if you were looking at family or pregnancies, there's a couple I'd look at. I would look at child number 1. I would also look at the fish as in fertility, and even the frog. So those 3 are the main pregnancy, fertility type card symbols that I'd look at. If you want to look and start at a particular person, so say this lady who's looking for love has got an on again, off again type boyfriend, we'd start here in the house of the man. So it would start at there. But we're going to assume this lady doesn't have a lover tucked away in the cupboard. She might be online communicating with some people, but there's no one seriously that she is dating. So we're going to start here in the house of the heart. Now, when you are card chaining, cards I always find best for chaining is face down. It's a bit like the soft reveal or the striptease, some people refer to it. Think burlesque dancer. So we are now looking and starting in the house of the heart. And when we are card chaining, we're actually reading these two together. So with this young lady where she's looking for love, and we've started there in heart, she's got the question mark. So the question mark there would tell me two things. She's feeling a little insecure about love, and it may be where she's lacking a little bit of confidence in the love stakes, and it can be literally where she keeps doubting or questioning herself. So we then, that's the start of the chain. So the next place we go to is number 44, which is the house of the question. So we're going right down here to the question. Sorry, I've got a cat who's playing in the wardrobe beside me. So we then turn over this card, and we've got the ship. So the ship here with her doubts, remember how we've seen that there, would tell me, yes, she has some doubts, but she is still progressing forward. Sorry, let me get this cat. Dolly, what are you doing? She's climbing up bookshelves, yes. So here when we look at it, we've got, like I said, the ship. So it tells me her little bit of confidence is improving. It could be a bit faster, but she's still moving forward. That's a good thing. Now, I must say too, with my cards where they often have a direction, when we are card chaining, we're actually ignoring any directions because these particular ones have a little arrow on them, and we are totally ignoring the arrows and the directions. So we then go to position 34. So we go into this chain. So now we're reading the chain. She's got the scales with the ship. So there would tell me though there's something that she's feeling a little off kilter, as I would say, because scales is about balance and level ground. In some instances when I do readings is I see the scale often is where they are trying to fulfill obligations. And I'd look at this here though and say there's something a little bit off kilter that she needs to work at. So we then go to position 33. And we've got the man. Now that's an interesting combo. So it's like get a notebook and you're writing the storyline. We've started there, we've gone there, and now we're there. So the scales and there would tell me she may be still stuck in limbo a little around a male. And that can be someone even from her past that she needs to deal with. So we then go to house 23 where we are following. So we turn that over. The mushroom there would have told me she has had a very toxic relationship of the past that may have not been good. And when I'm looking and reading the lines backwards from there would have told me this man probably really messed her around, because I'd look at that and say toxic male. And in some instances, the mushroom can literally mean a man who has dependency issues. And it can be like he drinks too much, or he smokes too much weed, or he might have drugs. And it can even come up if there's been some mental health areas. But there straight away would tell me there's been a toxic male that has literally undermined her confidence. So we then go to position 29. And we've got the castle or the tower. And so the castle would still tell me though where she may feel a little bit left out in the cold, but she is working on it. Because we have the tower or the, some people call it castle, either or, they both mean the same. When I see that there, it would indicate to me she is improving, but she's still got a long way to go, because this is crowning the house, which tells me she'll get there, but it is a slower climb. So we then go to position 38 of the tower. The 10th there would indicate to me she needs a little bit more time out. And I'd look at that and say she needs to be kind to herself, just that little bit more. So we then go to house 37. And we've got the child. Child, baby, same thing. Child there would tell me she only needs a little bit of time out, something small, and somewhere that she actually feels really, really good and important, because child is all about the smiles to the heart. So we then go to position 11, or the house 11, and we've got the key. The key actually means a new doorway is opening. And when I see that on a child, would tell me new love is coming in, and it is something that is more good for her, and it makes the heart fill with joy. So we then go to the house 45, which is down here. And we got the anchor. So the anchor is about security, and I'd look at that and say this love that comes along will be a lot more grounded love, and one that actually helps stabilize her love life and where she is heading. So we then go to the house of the anchor, and we've got the angel. Beautiful card, because it means there is positivity and light around a good, secure relationship. So we then go to position 2, which is the lady herself. It's actually beautiful to see it on the angel, because it still would tell me there is good light coming over her from spirit. And sometimes they are people she has lost and loved who are in spirit. So we then go to 21, and we've got the bat. And everyone sees the poor bat as something bad. Bat actually is about thinking smart and outside the box. It is a good family symbol, because it does mean things that are in gatherings, like when you have a whole, you don't very often see one bat, they're all together. And bat is, yes, she's very creative in her mindset and how she goes about things. It's nice actually, because even looking back here where she has had a past that's been toxic, a bat there would tell me she's going to be far wiser and smarter than the past relationship. So we then go to number 42, which is the house of the bat. Dog is lovely because it tells me loyalty is absolutely paramount to her. And again, landing on the bat would still tell me someone who stimulates the mind, the intelligence. That's nice. So we then go to position of the dog, and we've got the tree. Tree is a beautiful symbol of family, and there would tell me a man with loyalty and a man with and about family, because it's nice to see a very open, honest, grounded man. So we then go to position 39 of the tree, and we've got the cross. Now everyone sees the cross as a bad thing. Yes, it can lead sometimes to challenges, but more often than not, the cross is about spiritual connection, and that sitting on the tree would tell me he may literally come from a very spiritual family. Crosses I always see, again, with my own clients, they're often people on the same cultural belief systems, whether it's Christianity or not, it's often on that same path. So we then go to position 12, which is the cross. And we've got the sword. So the sword is claiming her own power. In one way it's good on the cross, because it literally means cutting if there is any blockages that are there. She again holds the power. So we go to 35 and we come to the house. And the house again would still tell me home and family orientated. We then go to position 20. Now we're turning a lot of cards here. Quite often we don't turn all the cards. Sometimes you only get a few. But we've got 50 cards, so we do have a lot here that can turn. So the mountain on the house can mean, yes, literally someone who may be a little bit stubborn. But on the house there would tell me still stable with family. Yes, a few hiccups, but they are only slight detours. A mountain is a lump. It is not a cliff to jump off. And I often say that to the clients when they see things like that and they have a little bit of a freak out. No need to do the freak out. So we then go to position of the mountain, which is 27, and we've got 19, which means, it's the hourglass, which means, again, stop the toing and fro. Hourglass is timing, so it does mean get on with it and stop messing about, because think of an hourglass. It's yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and you need to make decisions. And yes, on the mountain, these decisions may be a little bit tougher than you expect, but you still will make them. So we then go to house 19, and we've got the lion. And the lion is about, again, strength. It's actually nice when you're talking about love because, and I know people are going to laugh at me here, lion, when we're talking about love or the male, literally describes often their physique. And I see a lion there is usually very well cut male. So some nice eye candy. 22. So we go to the lion and we've got the treasure chest. And a beautiful card that, again, would tell me strength, and a treasure chest would tell me a man with some substance behind him. And that's not bad, because it doesn't have to be a rich man, but the treasure chest there would still tell me he's abundant for sure. So he's not poor. Then we come to the mouse. So what is it that is irritating about this man? Mice is irritations, but they generally mean small habits or bad irritations that really just gripe you. They're not serious ones where you just think, nah, I'm not going here. Mouse is usually very minor, naysayers. It's sitting on the treasure chest there would tell me he could even be a little bit protective when it comes to money, and he needs to, don't be afraid to sort of share a little bit of it. 28, we then go to the house of the mouse, and we've got the balloon. And the balloon here would still tell me rise, and it's a nice sign rising above the mouse, which tells me she will overcome any tricky situations around finances, because balloon means rise. Let go of the stress and the stuff you do not need. So we're back up here to the balloon, and we come to the book. So it literally means keep an eye on what's in front of you. Now we are talking about love, and a book there can literally mean somebody that you may swap numbers and text with or chat, because it literally means the written word. So we then go to the house of the book, and we've got dancer. Ooh la la. And I know, don't laugh. The dancer often means body to body, so it quite often is about sexual chemistry and intimacy. There again on the book, it's almost like they're not just texting, they are sexting. Be careful with that, girls. I've seen and dealt with a lot of beautiful, attractive ladies who fall into sending these guys a selfie in a bikini top or less. But if you do that type of thing, always remember, cut off your head, diffuse it. Don't let your face and body be together. Better still, don't do it. So we then go to position 13 of the dancer, which brings up the mermaid. Yes, beauty and alluring is often a symbol of fulfill your dreams. That on dancer would tell me they are very good as a lover and see you as quite delicious, seductress. 25, we go to the house of the mermaid and we have the mask. So what is it that she is not seeing? The next card is important because it's what she is not seeing. Now that is very interesting, because the triangle there looking for love would tell me there's some unfinished business that this man needs to probably put to bed, because the triangle, yes, it's a point and it forges forward, but it's still a triangle, which means three sides. So it's like her in a relationship, him in the relationship, but what's the third wheel? Now, everyone jumps straight away to the conclusion of that third wheel as he's got a wife or a lover in the background. That's at its very worst. Quite often I've seen it where they're either workaholics, sports fanatics, want to see the mates all the time. And if they're like that and don't want to make time for a relationship, time to kick their butt to the curb. So we go to 49 and we've got the tornado, which is my favourite card. So a tornado means time to declutter and sort things out. Tornado sitting on the triangle, I can't help but say it. To me, it would be an almighty argument. It'll happen quickly, but it will go quickly as well. So we then go to position 46 and we got the tunnel. Tunnel means focusing at the long term. Look at the long-term vision. Get out of the shadows. It's time for her to walk forward. So we then go to 40. We turn over nearly every card. Any other time I've got like 6. Always when it happens when I want to do a video. We have the eagle on the tunnel. Eagle tells me, seize the opportunity. Be ruthless in her endeavour. In the moment she sees this is a Mr. Right, if it feels right, that he's a good communicator and a great lover, don't let him pass by. Just grab him. So we then go to the eagle and we've got the rose. Rose is the softer side. It means passion and romance. It's a lovely symbol of maturity and love. So we then go to 32 and we've got the bird, which is about communication. That's not bad because it tells me it's whispering sweet nothings in your ear. It would be nice. We then go to the bird and we've got 15, which is the dragon. Power in discussions. Now, a dragon on top of the bird. Bird is communication, it's vocal. A dragon there would tell me just be more aware that he doesn't just talk whatever rubbish that comes out of his mouth, because a dragon can mean full of bluster and nothing, no substance behind it. So we then go to 15 and we've got the cat. The cat is a positive as far as sitting in a comfortable place. Cat on top of the dragon though would tell me be watchful and alert to, yes, some of the porkies that he might be spinning to her, whispering the sweet nothings in her ear. So we are going over to the cat and we've got the monkey. Good sign of fun. It's nice. Can be a little bit, he may need to mature a little bit more. We then go to the monkey and we come back to the heart. Now, see these cards that didn't turn over? We don't turn those over. And the reason is they're not relevant to our storyline, or in this reading, we've got a whole paragraph. They're not relevant because we've answered her question in many, many cards. So that's how you do card chaining using my GT mat. Thanks for listening, everybody, and apologies for my bunny pajamas. Bye for now.